Have you ever just like immediately lost interest in a project? Come on. Oh, it's not fitting. Oh. Ugh. I don't ever want to paint again. So that's as much as it can go. I gotta be honest, I am not terribly excited about going underneath this car. Just make sure. Oh, gotta be extra careful. It doesn't work. I have no idea, I don't remember. Yeah. The PoE switch is still going. This thing is still legit chugging along. Okay, it's been roughly about a day. I'm excited to see what it looks like. When I left off, I put probably like 4 coats of clear coat. Now I'm gonna drag it over here and just scuff it up the first thing I do. I think these actually came out pretty good though. These are looking nice, I like it, I like it. I think the gold looks pretty decent. I mean, that's just not bad. I'm gonna go get the covers and I'm gonna put it on, I'm gonna see what it looks like. What's crazy is that not only does this thing look dumb as hell, but I spent a lot of time to make it look like that. Ugh. Have you ever just like immediately lost interest in a project? I'm just so over painting now. I don't ever want to paint again.
The ghost of you possesses me, torments my mind, haunts my dreams. When will I be seeing you again?
It is what it is. Look, I've been trying to get a bunch of little tiny projects just kind of worked out. So I'm gonna make this video and hopefully by the end of the video, I'll have a good title that'll make you actually want to at least try to watch it. Let's start off with this little bitty switch. AQARA, Akara, I'm gonna go with that. That is what that switch is for, and that goes to these big lights. If you're unaware, Akara is a Zigbee-based system that works with Home Assistant, and I have found from some very limited testing that it is extremely fast, and I'm starting to like it more than Miros, which is all Wi-Fi based. It has cloud, it has local. Long story short, I may be switching slowly over to Zigbee. And I can officially say that I blame Nate, AKA First, on all of my videos for sending me just like the 2 buttons and a basic little dongle to connect everything, because I was kind of on the fence of trying it, had it in my cart, I just hadn't taken the leap. But all of these lights that I have in here are 2 separate lights. I have the basic lights, which I use most of the time, and then I have these super bright lights that when they come on, they use 850 to 1,000 watts, and they're really bright. When I originally set up all my little thing right here and I made that garage vlog, I set up this switch that went up the wall, hooked up to that, and that is a little Miros plug, and I could flip this switch and it would turn that off. But instead, what I did is I kept that plugged in and I never used that switch again because I like using the app on my phone in order to activate my bright garage light. But now that I got this nice little button that's battery powered, supposed to last up to 2 years, I can push that button and it turns everything off within my garage. I'm gonna add a second one because the light switches, in order to control it, are inside, right? So if I add a second one, that means I won't have to open the door. May or may not do that. I'm just saying that's a possibility. This thing right here is a temperature sensor. It tells me humidity and maybe pressure or some crap, but it's by the same company, Cara. I stuck it where I thought it would be like the most neutral spot ever. Problem is it keeps losing connection, which I'm not really surprised because there's a lot of interference going on right there, so I gotta remove it. Yeah, screw you, little bastard. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the side of this, and I'm just gonna hope that the metal, like, just taking the cold and the heat, hopefully that doesn't affect it, but I'll put it right here, and then I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll see how it works. Another part of the Zigbee thing is I have a ton of Miros light switches that are usually pretty good, no major complaints, imported into Home Assistant, has a LAN controller, all of that other stuff. However, I'm gonna start, this is my first and only light switch that I have. I have another one coming in that's a dual rocker that I wanna try that thing out too. But I wanna hook this thing up and I wanna see if it's as fast as the buttons are, because the buttons are just stupid fast to report to Home Assistant. So this thing needs to be tested tonight. I'm gonna install this into my office, probably, just to see how it works, how easy it is, and whether or not I want to essentially move or start moving everything over to this. That's it for now. Look at that. That's so nice. This is a water sensor tester. I'm gonna show you how this works in Home Assistant real quick. I'm rigged this to where when it goes off, it tells Home Assistant it's wet, and then whenever I turn it off, it'll go back to just the regular. It takes longer to go back to dry, but either way, at least I have something on here as a starting point. That way I can use that later on, and it's not completely wasted because before I had absolutely zero notification that I had anything wet. So it's like, what's the point of having it if you don't have anything telling you? This one is underneath my sink. That way it'll tell me if there's any leak, which is very important. Yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. Put it right there. Smart wall switch with the neutral by Cara. And turn it on. Got some blue lights. It's wired to this, hopefully. There we go. Because I am an idiot, I'm just not gonna turn off the power to this room, and I'm gonna install this live, and I'm gonna hope that I don't shock myself, because that's what I do. That still live, yeah. And then boom. The thing I like about these Zigbees so far is that they are so fast. Okay, two things. I went on a slight tangent with a very minor home automation thing, right? So this is the sink. I went through and I set up a few things, but let me show you something. This really better work. So if you don't know how this works, the sensors, there's two metal things right there, so they make connection. I probably already said that. If I trigger it, I just got a notification on my phone. I have lights downstairs in my office, and then I have lights in my bedroom, just in case I'm sleeping, and then I got lights around the house. They're all going off, letting me know. So notifications, lights going off, I should be able to know if a leak happens. The good thing is I set that to where if I'm not home, the lights won't blink. Now, if you look at this freaking blinking time thing, my power went out. It was out for about an hour and 50 minutes, maybe 2 hours. The power going out for like 2 hours made me like think of something that I completely forgot. And that is, I was sent these batteries a long time ago, lithium iron phosphate batteries, 12 volts, I think. Yeah, they have a layer of dust. I mean, I have enough batteries to last me for quite a few hours, but you know, it just made me remember I need to add these. To do that, I gotta make a bus bar out of spare copper here. Screw that one up, gonna cut that. Probably long enough. Now I have to make a couple cables, which is, you know, reminding me why I didn't do this in the first place, because I had to do all the things and make the bars, and then I got to make cables, and, you know, it's just a whole thing. Got everything hooked up, got my negative, got my positive. I'm pretty sure I did everything right, so here's the moment of truth. That always freaks me out, you know, first time, always freaks me out. So that is 500 amp hours, And just to do a quick test, make sure everything's good. Yeah, that looks good. That didn't pop. That's not pop. That's not popped. Not pop. Not pop. Not pop. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 600 amp hours. What am I doing? Let's see. Yeah, it's still 100%. It's only pulling 2,000 watts, 26 volt, minus 75 amps. All right, battery capacity, 100 amp hours. Battery voltage, 26. You got 6 of them wired together. That gives you 15,600 watt hours. You take 15,600 and you divide that by, let's just go ahead and round up to 2,000. That is 7.8 hours. My home is now only drawing 1,983 watts, and I'm doing 2,000 watts on that, which means you got 4,000 watts. You take that 7 point whatever, and you got 3.9 hours that I could technically run my whole house on without the air conditioning. You know, if power went down and it was like, it's gonna be a while, obviously I can hook up my generator, or I could turn off some computers and servers, and I can do some things to reduce power, like turn that big ass 55-inch freaking touchscreen off. But 4 hours? Not that bad. Man, there's a lot of fans in here, but you know what I realized? Don't laugh at me. Hear me out. I have 3 Ubiquiti, Unify, whatever, LR6s, the long range Wi-Fi 6s. The second one is upstairs. It's right there. And out here in the garage, you see that? See that right there? Do you notice anything different? I'll give you a hint. It doesn't work. I installed 3 of them. That one was a run that went from the server room up through the wall into the attic and then over to there. And then I had issues with it dropping out and not working, like I wired something wrong. I just never got around to wanting to like go up into the attic and check the wiring and actually troubleshooting something. So, hey, let's do that. That is where I gotta go. I do like how I just left everything from all the project stuff that I was doing. I have screws, I have a bucket. Is there anything in the bucket? There's nothing in the bucket. Got some wires. Oh, I have an LED light. I forgot about that. That line right there. See that? I miss it up here. It's so snowy and white. The fans are still running. The PoE switch is still going. Like this thing is still legit chugging along. I installed this thing years ago. And it gets hot as heck up in here. Hold on. It gets hot as heck up in here, and this thing is still not dead. I have no idea how. This is the line to the wireless access point, and it was plugged in, so that means I need to go back down to the server room, and I have to figure out which orange wire that is, because I'm not entirely sure which one. This doesn't even have any status lights. All right, it does now. It seems like the thing that it's plugged into, which is that one right there, I touched it, and it messed up. So, you know, I have really bad cabling, or I have really terrible wiring skills for those port thingies. I forget what they're called. I mean, in terms of this being wired, seems like all the wires are in there. Not that there's good penetration. Can't really guarantee that, but it looks like everything's good. It may be hard to see it on this, but if I had to guess what the problem was, it's definitely at least this keystone jack. It's probably best that I just terminate this, because that looks like it did not penetrate the actual wire. Pretty clean, if I may say so myself. It is officially online. However, it is only getting power, it's not getting data, which means it's not fixed. Well, back up to the attic I go. I'm up here, and considering how finicky the other connection was to all my other cameras, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just have to wire that one as well. Mainly just because I'm here. Now you see, that's what it's supposed to look like. Now that my access point that's been down for like a year finally works again, I really need to mow the lawn. So on my way out to mow the lawn, actually I'm going to go ahead and put together my server that's down there. I just need to put it back into the case, which will help me start to get rid of some of this mess that I didn't want to mess with, because it's all server related mess. You know, because like everything has a reason. And then get it off this piece of wood. So I got this This is for like low profile. It's 92 millimeters Noctua fan, super quiet. It's meant for the Threadripper just because, you know, I have a Threadripper. But I was just really kind of worried about cooling, right? I almost went water cooling. But instead of doing that, I swapped those measly little bitty 90 millimeter Noctua fans out for some like commercial, like 206, no, I don't know how many CFM these, I don't remember what it is, but they're probably really loud and they move a lot more air than the other Noctua ones. Noctua ones are quiet, don't get me wrong, but I wanted more air. Oh yeah, I also got these big ass fans. These are, so I had these Noctua in there before. They're all right, but these are just big and bulky and thick, and I had to cut, like I have to wire it, like I have to make a whole new, like, look at that. Look at that. I gotta remake that. I just like moved it all in there, just in the laziest way possible. Wow. Look how gross this motherboard is. There you go. All right, so for the moment, since I'm only doing cooling, I don't have any drive bays or anything, so I don't have any drives, so I'm not even gonna mess with powering that. Hopefully it'll still boot without it being powered, doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm gonna be swapping this out, but I want you to hear it right when it boots up. That way you get an idea, a baseline. Cleaned off. Here we go. Tell me that's not the best. Huh? Huh? Look at that mirror finish on that. Okay. Here's the moment of truth. Should it fit? Oh, it's not fitting. Oh, it doesn't fit because of the RAM. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the fans off because I have to do that anyway. I'm gonna put the heat sink on. I have to do that anyway. And then I'm just gonna put the fans on there wherever they fit. They'll still blow air over the damn thing, right? But they just won't be all like covering it, but they're gonna be moving a lot more air. So hopefully it'll balance itself out. So it slots in right there. See, it's perfect. Oh yeah, look at that clearance. See if I can get it from over here. Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll work. And now I have mustard colored cables in my server build, but you know, whatever. I can like not do something about that later. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. You ready? I get it in. Oh, it got louder. Yeah, let's just say I'm gonna have to go into the BIOS there and make some adjustments, make sure that fan curve is nice and tuned. And I still have 3 big old fans to add to this thing, so it's gonna get even louder. That's gonna be awesome. Side note, what does it take to like soundproof a room? I actually think because these fans are so loud, I don't wanna set it in my server room, I think I'm just gonna put it back in this little water room. Like, it didn't do too bad in here. See? I mean, it kind of fits there perfectly. I'm not gonna lie, it's like match made in heaven. I'll fix the wobble. There you go. Stable AF. It's in here. Perfect. I wonder if this will... Yeah, no, that did nothing. Holy crap, that is loud. Come on. That's full speed, right? And that's silent. Full speed. Silent. All right, that's not bad at all. Listen to that. Yeah, you're hearing the air conditioning over that. So, not that bad, but I still have more to do. I just got this. This is the Zigbee, this is the dual rocker, right? I'm going to take that and I'm gonna put it right here. That turns on the regular lights, and then I got this little Zigbee button. To install this, I need to run it to that, which will then hopefully power those lights, but I have to run a cable or a wire, a Romex, up to the ceiling, up into the attic, and then power those. So the benefit here is that right now, those lights go off the outlets, which if the lights are on, which are 900 to 1,000 watts when they're running, and that thing goes off, it will pop circuits. Since I haven't gotten around to running a dedicated line, a new line, a higher amperage line to the garage, this is a perfect solution. 2-in-1. It's cool, but it's 66 degrees right now, and it's just perfect to mow the lawn. Now, this right here is a Zigbee spruce soil moisture monitor. Also tells me the temperature. So essentially what I'm gonna do is take this outside, find a spot. This is made of fiberglass. I don't want to set it down and mess with it, but this tip right here is made of like fiberglass composite thing. I don't know. Anyways, here you go. Plaid Systems spruce. I'll link in the description if I remember. It's connected via Zigbee, and since I already have a smart irrigation system, I want to test out making this take a measurement maybe twice a day, like one in the evening before the sun goes down, and then one in the morning before the sun comes up, taking a measurement and saying, hey, how is the moisture? If the moisture is too low, just kick on the sprinklers for 10 minutes or whatever. It's gonna be an evolving thing. I gotta play with it. But it's supposed to be water resistant. However, there's a lot of places here for it to get exposed to water. And the way I look at it is that what harm will come from just filling in those holes with a little bit of sealant, right? Making sure that it has just an added layer of protection. This is battery powered, and I think is supposed to last up to a year. So the great thing with this like caulking sealant stuff is that it's elastic sealant that you could just peel off with your thumb nail if you want to. All right, on other more DIY solutions, I've seen people use like a plasti dip to dip the whole thing. Like the custom made ones, I've seen them use like some sort of a coating on the sensor itself to help keep that from eroding, but this is a little bit different of a sensor. So I did put it at the base there, and then I put it on every little hole underneath there, and I put it on these holes on the top, and then I spread it around the sides where that little crack is, like where you'd actually open it up. So I've covered everything in a sealant. I'm gonna let this do the cure thing that it does, probably sit here for a while I mess with some stuff in Home Assistant, and then I wanna go install this into the yard. All right, one more thing. So I got this double switch, and since I'm gonna be installing the sensor in the yard, I'm gonna need a router upstairs. Right now I don't have one. A router would be anything plugged in. So I have this set up to control two things, right? One is just gonna be the regular garage lights, and the other is going to be the bright garage lights. You know, I had that button, right? For now, I'm going to just wire one and then dead wire the other one, just like, you know, seal it off or whatever. But for now, I'm gonna do that and then just like wire this as a digital button until I work up the motivation to actually physically wire it. Because ultimately, I do need to physically wire the bright garage lights. So it'll be a thing, but right now, not so much. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's bad. She did. Now I just gotta wire this red wire up to that, which I need to go get a cap because I think that's too big. And just like that, we are installed. Maybe it goes the other way. Maybe it's a little crooked. Maybe that's fine. And I think I'm gonna have to repair them. So this'll be fun. Car world. Car parts. Baby's first jack stand. Basically, I ordered an X-pipe car parts that requires me to jack up my car. But I have, you know, the most basic starter jacking kit. Yeah, that just was not gonna come out right. Pretty much, that's this. gonna make that louder. Here's the plan. I'm gonna jack up one side of the vehicle, put the world's sketchiest jack stands on it, and try not to die in the process. But first I need to start it. Okay, so that's as much as it can go. I'm starting to regret my decision already. I gotta be honest, I am not terribly excited about going underneath this car. Did I say X-pipe? I actually meant H-pipe. You can tell by the H-y shape that it is. This goes up here. Gotta hold that to about right there. And then kind of where that bend is, right in the middle. See that? I gotta mark that and cut that. About right there, I think. Give or take some change. To give you an idea, that's what I'm working with as far as space goes. I have concluded that I need a drink. We can get started. All right, that's harder than it looks. Okay, I don't like this. Just to verify, usually jacks are supposed to leak oil, right? That's normal, right? So that almost fell. It shifted on me. But, you know, hey, I got it. It's 4 hours later. Luna is probably hungry. Completely remove the exhaust, recut it, because it didn't fit right. I spent 5.5 hours on this, not even joking. I was reminded why I hate mechanic stuff. And also my camber alignment or whatever is all off, and I'm wearing through brand new tires that I just spent like $900 for two. And the fronts are all worn on the inside. So I gotta go get a camber adjustment alignment. I think I'm done though. It's actually like late at night now, so I can't open the door, but I still gotta lower it down, and then I'm gonna cold start it inside the garage. Brand new tires, look at that. Worn up. Those are the front, those are old. Definitely need to get that addressed. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna check two things. One, make sure nothing's rattling. Two, I wanna make sure that my active exhaust that I installed can still switch from Prius mode to, you know, Mustang. So if it doesn't work or something's rattling, I'm just gonna drive the truck tomorrow and then just deal with this on the weekend. For now,